Two characters are finally about to communicate like adults, and then one of them overhears half a sentence, runs away, and refuses to talk for 3 episodes. Suddenly, the big problem in the story isn't a demon lord or a rival school, it's basic human communication. Today we're looking at the misunderstanding trope. The episodes where everything falls apart because someone assumes the worst, instead of asking literally a single follow-up question. Why is this trope everywhere in romance anime? When is it actually effective? And when does it just feel like the writers are trolling you on purpose? In romance and rom-com anime, a misunderstanding episode is one where the main conflict comes from characters misinterpreting something, an overheard conversation, a seen but not explained situation, or a half-finished confession. Instead of the couple breaking up because of a major betrayal, they fall out over, "I saw you with another girl," "I heard you say you don't like me," or "I thought that chocolate wasn't for me." Articles and rants sum it up like this. Misunderstandings are used as soft conflict, obstacles that don't make anyone a true villain, but keep the relationship from progressing. In other words, it's drama powered by people talking past each other, not by anyone doing something unforgivable. Probably the most infamous, overhearing something out of context. A character hears only part of a conversation, behind a door, around a corner, or from a distance, and fills in the blanks in the worst possible way. TV Tropes calls this out-of-context eavesdropping. The audience hears the full, innocent conversation, but the character only hears the juicy parts and assumes betrayal, rejection, or cheating. Here are some example patterns. They catch, "I don't like her at all," but miss, "when she's suffering alone, I want to help her." They overhear, "I want to break up," from a role-play rehearsal. Or they hear, "I love you," directed at someone else, not realizing it's about a pet or a joke. Another classic is walking in at the worst possible moment. The love interest trips and falls onto someone else. You enter a room just as they're hugging another person, or you see them giving chocolate to someone and leave before hearing, "This is just obligation chocolate." Critics point out that harem and rom-com series especially love this, using it to add more members to the harem, she misunderstood and fell for him, or keep the main couple from acknowledging what's obvious to everyone else. There's also the half-confession. Someone starts to admit their feelings but chickens out, changes the subject mid-sentence, or lets external noise, fireworks, trains, cover their words, then assumes the other person got the message anyway. On the flip side, attempts to clear things up get aborted. "About what you saw yesterday." "No, it's fine. You don't have to explain." "Can I ask you something?" "Forget it. I already know how you feel." Blog posts about romance anime complain that characters often refuse to have one honest conversation, purely so the misunderstanding can last multiple episodes. If viewers find it annoying, why is the misunderstanding trope so common? Commentary on romance tropes notes that misunderstandings create conflict without villains. Nobody has to cheat, nobody has to act completely out of character, but you still get breakups, angst, and reunions. In a genre that's supposed to be lighthearted or slice of life, that's useful. The couple can fight and make up without either becoming irredeemable. Analyses and rants also point out that misunderstandings are a tool to delay progress in slow-burn romance. If the leads got together at episode 3, you'd have a very short series. So writers set up almost confessions, throw in misunderstandings to push the payoff later, and use the tension to keep viewers binging. The idea is that when the misunderstanding finally clears and someone actually says, "I like you," it feels more impactful because you've watched them suffer through confusion first. Some defenders of the trope argue that misunderstandings reflect real life. People do jump to conclusions, misread body language, or avoid hard conversations because they're scared. Threads where people say they secretly enjoy the trope mention that when done right, it shows how insecurity and poor communication can sabotage relationships, even when both people care a lot, just like in real life. In that version, the misunderstanding isn't just a plot gimmick. It's a way to explore characters' flaws and how they learn to talk honestly. The difference between a good misunderstanding episode and a rage-inducing one usually comes down to 3 things: length, stakes, and character growth. Critics absolutely roast the trope when misunderstandings drag on for many episodes with no new information, characters refuse to ask obvious questions, and the story keeps resetting to "we're back to square one," just to stall the ship. One essay puts it bluntly: If the only reason the couple isn't together is because they're being artificially stupid, the audience stops believing in the story. Rants call this conflict by idiot ball, where characters have to temporarily lose common sense to keep the misunderstanding alive. On the other hand, there are shows that use misunderstandings well. Articles and fans praise series where misunderstandings are resolved quickly, within an episode or two. The mix-up leads to funny situations or heartfelt conversations, and the resolution deepens trust instead of just resetting the status quo. One piece about A Sign of Affection points out that it uses the trope but doesn't milk it. A character misreads a situation, feels anxious, then actually asks about it, and the misunderstanding is cleared in a realistic, gentle way instead of turning into a huge blow-up. Similarly, comedy series like Kaguya-sama build entire jokes around mutual misunderstandings, but the point is to show how ridiculous it is, not to drag out the angst forever. Video essays on the subject argue that misunderstandings can be powerful when they expose insecurities. I assumed you hated me because I secretly hate myself. Reveal how characters value each other once they think they've lost them, and force them to finally articulate what they've been too scared to say. In those cases, the misunderstanding isn't the point. It's a catalyst for characters to grow out of their bad habits and become more honest. So, is the misunderstanding trope the worst thing to happen to romance anime, or just badly used a lot of the time? On the negative side, articles and forum posts rank miscommunication leading to complicated situations as one of the most overused and frustrating cliches in modern romance anime. Viewers complain about things like endless cycles of breakups and makeups over fixable issues, couples that never talk honestly even in the finale, and shows that confuse dragging things out with building tension. On the positive side, some fans will die on the hill that misunderstandings, when short and purposeful, are fun. They create spikes of drama and comedy, and the relief when things get cleared up can be really satisfying. Recent commentary suggests a small shift. More series are trying to resolve misunderstandings faster, show characters actually talking things through, and use the trope as a way to highlight good communication rather than avoid it forever. Cultural impact, 8 out of 10. Misunderstandings are baked into how we imagine anime romance works. People expect at least one "we could fix this if we talked" episode. Annoyance potential, 10 out of 10. When it's just stalling, nothing tilts viewers faster. Meme longevity, 8 out of 10. From compilation videos of botched confessions to posts yelling, "just talk to each other," the trope fuels a lot of discourse. Verdict, misunderstandings are like salt. A little brings out flavor, too much ruins the dish. Used thoughtfully, they show how fragile and human relationships can be. Used lazily, they just prove that the biggest antagonist in romance anime is the lack of basic communication skills. As long as writers need low-stakes ways to stall a romance, there will be characters lurking around corners, overhearing the worst possible sentence, and sprinting away before anyone can explain.